Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakadam, to you hopeful elect out there. This is just a real quick, just wanted to speak on this so-called New World Order, which is really an old world order. Alright. Because, pretty much these nations, man, they always, for the most part, had this mindset of trying to, make everybody one, so to say, the establishment of one government, one language, one speech, so on and so forth, So this thing that Esau, what he's trying to accomplish today, like I said, this New World Order is really an old world order, and I'm just going to go through a few, accounts in history, showing how, like I said, these nations trying to accomplish this, all right, and, the funny thing about it is, like, whenever these nations got to a certain point, in establishing this so-called New World Order, the Lord intervened, and it's not going to be any different from today, all right, with Esau and, trying to establish this New World Order, all right, it's going to be the same thing. The Lord's going to intervene, all right. So with that being said, I'm going to start here in Genesis, the 11th chapter, starting at verse 1. It says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech." It said, "And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar." All right. Now, it's not good enough that, the Lord, dealing with the natural elements. You have natural stones and things of that nature. But of course, for these nations, that's not good enough. They have to go and make their own substance or whatnot. It says, "And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." All right, because typically when these nations, and this is why I'm gonna say this, man. When it comes to segregation, that was the best thing to happen, especially for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, because during times of slavery, and hopefully you can hear me, just outside in the elements, trying to, just get my wind back and whatnot. Ended up going for a walk or whatnot. So you'll hear the wind blowing or whatnot. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. But typically when these, I was saying, as far as like segregation, because back like during the times of slavery and whatnot, when we were segregated, that's when, for the most part, our families were, somewhat in order, we were functioning more properly than we do now, But, Jake's bad habit of wanting to be like these nations, man, mixing and mingling, which this is why, like I said, when it comes to segregation, the Lord is the ultimate segregist. He's the ultimate separatist, is what I meant to say. All right, and just hold on with me real quick. Bear with me real quick. So yeah, like I said, when it comes to segregation, that was the best thing to happen for you, happy for you, Jakes, man. You know, and in fact, it's in our law. Matter of fact, let me go to get an example real quick. Um, Deuteronomy chapter 7, and this is for people that they like to um, you know get their emotions involved when it comes to this topic. All right, of how we should treat um, other people and their religions. Everyone has the right to worship their gods freely, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's see how the Lord feels about that. I'm going to read this in Deuteronomy 7:1. It says, when the Lord thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee. You see, just to show that people don't understand that the true God of the Bible, all right? You see, because the Lord, man, he overthrew nations for us on the behalf of our people, all right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, all right? We're dealing with a power that has cast out nations before us, for our sake, all right? Because, obviously the Lord, his love is not for everyone. His salvation is not for everyone, and it's been in my spirit because, the as I had mentioned in the video, man, that I did yesterday about being in the hospital, man, just being humbled, it's been on my spirit because I've been chatting with individuals, you know, um, and it's basically been taking me back to basic stuff, basic milk scriptures and whatnot, so it's I'm probably gonna get into some back to the basics, probably gonna be going over some milk scriptures, some basic stuff, that appears to be in my spirit right now. So we'll just see, however the spirit takes it. But yeah, man. Again, like I said, just dealing with the power that we're dealing with. He's not for all nations and he's not for all people. All right. But it says the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than now. And when the Lord thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. You see, and to show you an example of our disobedience. All right. You had I believe it was a king by the King Saul, if I'm not mistaken. He was told to destroy all the Amalekites. All right. And basically leave no trace of them. But he disobeyed, and if the Lord didn't write it out, if he didn't write this story out the way that he did, because sometimes you look at certain examples in the Bible, and you just like, man, if he would have did this, or if this character would have did that, then we wouldn't be in this position today, because if you know about Amalek, that is the top tribe of the nation of Esau. All right. And if King Saul would have did what he was told to do and wipe out all the Amalekites, then we probably wouldn't be in this position that we're in today. Because who runs the world right now? Esau. Amalek, the top tribe of Esau. All right. When you read about Job 9:24, when you read Job 9:24, it talks about how the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Like I said, that wicked being Esau, Edom, but again, the top tribe, them Amalekites, all right, those small hats, all right, like I said, they're the ones that run the earth. They run the media, the banks, they run everything, all right, they're in control of everything, so hey, when the Lord says to do something, man, though we may not understand, all right, even though we may not understand, it's just best to obey, man, all right, and just do what we're told to do. But verse 2 again, it says, And the Lord thy power shall deliver them before thee, and thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. And that's another thing, because when you read in the book of Obadiah, all right, it talks about the complete annihilation of a race of people. Again, for people that thinking that the Lord loves everyone, all right, the Lord is for all people. Well, like I said, you read I tell a lot of these Christians, and they don't even know about the book of Obadiah. They don't even know that book exists. Because of course they don't go over that in these churches, man. That the book of Obadiah, though, it's one chapter. It's one of the smallest books in the Bible, but yet it has a very heavy significance to it. All right, and because again, that book alone is dedicated to Esau, Edom, and like I said, in that book, that one chapter, it talks about the complete annihilation of a race of people. You see, and that's the balance of Yahweh Shema Shah, because hey, we're gonna get immortality. All right, we're gonna live forever, but hey, there's gonna come a point in time when you're gonna have a complete extermination of a race of people. You see, and you best believe, hey, when our time comes after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, hey, you best believe, man, we're not gonna have no second thoughts. We're not gonna have no sympathy, no mercy. All right, I could just imagine it being with pleasure, exterminating these people, man. Because we're sick of these Edomites, man. I just had a Edomite walk past. I just had an Edomite, old, wrinkled, crusty Edomite walk past, man. And it's just, I get sick of I get sick of looking at these Edomites, and I know they feel the same way about us. Whenever they walk past us, hey, the feeling is mutual. And that's just how the Lord wrote the story out. All right. You see, they hate us, we hate them. It is what it is. But like I said, hey, we're going to get immortality. They're going to be exterminated. But nevertheless, it says, verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. And again, hey, King Solomon was an example of that. All right. All the women that he had, them concubines, he was building altars for their false gods, right? You see, man. So and now, of course, because there's nothing wrong with taking concubines of the other nations. You best believe in the kingdom we're going to be doing that, all right? But as far as treating them on a level, putting them on a level like fellow Israelites. Nah, man, like I said, we're not supposed to be mixing and mingling, because I think it's in this same chapter. Yeah. I think it's in the same chapter. It talks about how, well, it might not be in this chapter, but it talks about how they're, you see, we're not supposed to be mixing and mingling, and this is why the Lord is, this is why the Lord, he's the ultimate separatist, all right? He doesn't believe in, all, nations being one, under one banner, and one language and one speech. He doesn't believe in that. All right. I mean, there's a damn good reason for it. You see. But verse 4 says, yeah, this is what I was talking about. It says, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. And again, this plays a big part of why we're in this predicament that we're in today. All right, because here it is, the Lord created us to be his image. We're supposed to be his living representations. All right, when the nations see us, they're supposed to see Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, the glory of the Lord is supposed to be shown through us, but we wanted to be like these other nations, right? They're counted less than nothing, man. All right, these nations, they don't mean anything to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, they were created by default to serve us, all right, to serve the Israelites, all right? But we wanted to be like these heathens so bad, all right? You see, man, so, this is why, hey, part of the curses, the Lord scattered us amongst these nations, all right? And this is why you have a lot of Israelites. They look like that nations. They dress, talk, act, even speak the same languages as these other nations. You see, so this is why, like I said, we're not supposed to be mixing and mingling with these other nations, because they would turn our hearts, which they did, all right, turn our hearts from our true one and only living power, man. And Like I said, this is why we're in this position that we're in today. We're in this predicament that we're in today. All right, idol worship. You see. So this is why, like I said, man, the Lord is not with all nations coming together. All right. Like I said, man, the Lord He's the ultimate separatist. All right. And like I said before, going back to slavery, segregation, man, was the best thing to happen to you, Jakes, during slavery. But again, Jake, they wanted to be like the nations. They want to be equal rights and all that nonsense, right? But going back to Genesis 11 and 4, and they said, "Go, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." So like I was saying, typically when the nations come together, typically it's for wickedness, and it's against Yahweh Shema Shai, because in this case, in this instance here, in order to, just in case, the Lord decided to flood the earth again, which he said he wouldn't. He made a promise that he wouldn't, but in the mindset of these nations here, these heathens here, in case the Lord wanted to flood the earth again, this is why they wanted to build this tower that reached up onto the heavens, so they could pretty much escape judgment. You see, it says, "And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded." All right, because you have three classifications of people. You have the sons of God, which are the Israelites. You have the sons of the wicked, and then you have the sons of the men, which are the heathens. All right, and the sons of men, or the sons of the wicked, being Esau, Edom. All right, and the sons of the sons of men being the heathens. All right, because again, the Lord is a separatist. All right. It says, "And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do." Because the scriptures talk about, why do the heathen imagine a vain thing? Because like I said, typically when these heathens come together and they come together and plot, plan, all right, typically it's wickedness, and it's against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, and it's against you children of Israel. All right. It says, "Go to, let us go down, and therefore confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." And you see, it's going to go back to that. All right. When it's all said and done in the kingdom, all right, the nations, they're going to be divided. All right. They're going to be separated. They're going to be given their plot of lands. All right. And they're going to be speaking their own languages. All right. So on and so forth. All right, because this whole thing with there's not gonna be no such thing as a melting pot in the kingdom where you're gonna have some place like Babylon the Great, America, where all nations come together, and no, it's not gonna be like that. All nations are gonna be separated. They're gonna have their plot of lands. All right, and they're gonna be tributaries to the nation of Israel. All right, they're gonna pay tribute to the nation of Israel. All right, just like we did them, just like we did them. All right, and it says, "So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babal, which goes into confusion." All right, it says, "Because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth." So you see, one example of the nations trying to establish a one world order. All right, and what did the Lord do? He confounded it. He intervened. He didn't allow it to come to its full intuition, so to say. He didn't allow it to fully come together. All right, because the Lord is not with it. You see, go to another example. Because you see Nimrod, which the account that I just read, it was about Nimrod trying to establish his one world order, which he was a Canaanite, all right, a Hamite, all right, and in the scriptures, because you see when it comes to Esau, Edom, he's not an originator, all right. He, everything that he does, man, he steals all his ideas. Even when it comes to the idols that he worships, everything that, all the symbolism, and even when it comes, when it comes to his wickedness, he's stolen it. All right, because a lot of the stuff that you see, a lot of the symbolism that you see today, and the customs that's practiced here in America, all right, Babylon the Great, a lot of this stuff goes back to ancient. It goes back to what I just read in you know, during the time of Nimrod, and the Tower of Babel. All right, a lot of this stuff goes back to uh, the ancient Nimrod. You see, because like I said, Esau, he's not an originator. He a lot of the idols and whatnot that he worships or whatnot, man, most of it, if not all of it, is stolen. All right, but I'm gonna read this here in First Maccabees chapter 1. I'm gonna jump down to verse 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people." So again, another instance where again you have the nations trying to establish a one world order. All right, I'm gonna read it again. "Moreover, King Antiochus," which Antiochus, he was an Edomite, and I do believe he's back today again. All right, because this guy Joe Biden could, he very well, in a lot of aspects, fits the description of this guy, Antiochus. All right, or Antiochus. All right. So again, it says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people." Because you see, the thing about it is, when it comes to this whole New World Order agenda, this isn't something that they want to establish here in America. This is something that they want to establish throughout the world. All right. All right. Again, hence the name of one world order, a new world order. All right. It says, "And everyone should leave his laws." So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. So you see, basically doing away with our traditional customs, the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, because that's what Esau. This is what he tried. This is what he tries to do. All right, he tries to do away with the natural ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. Here it is, Yahweh Shem Shai. He has, real, organic food and herbs and things of that nature. But what does Esau do? He says, no, we create GMOs. All right, we create our own medicines. All right, here it is. The Lord has natural medicines. Esau says, no, we have our own medicines. We create our own medicines. All right, you see, they want to create an artificial suns and moons, and they just want to do away with all the natural ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai, when clearly the scriptures talk about how everything that the Lord created, he created it with a purpose, and it was good. But here it is, Esau, being that he's contrary to Yahweh Shem Shai, he says that's not good enough, and we'll create our own substance. All right, because Esau, he wants to be the most. He wants to be the Most High. He wants to be like the Most High. You see, and then the Lord's going to give him the power to because I'm gonna say this, man. When it comes to this whole New World Order agenda, like I said, these nations, man, that tried to have established this so-called New World Order, they've gotten close. They've got to a point, but like I said, when they've got to a point, the Lord, he always intervened, and it's not going to be any different today. It's not going to be any different today. The Lord's going to allow Esau today, the modern day Canaanite, the spiritual Canaanite, the modern day Pharaoh. All right, he's going to allow him to get but so far to a point, and then eventually at some point he's going to intervene. All right, but reading on, it says, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beast. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they may forget the law and change all the ordinances. You see, and this is what happened. Again, I was talking to, um, some individuals, man. Because this is where the Hellenization started. All right. You see, um, when it comes to the Apocrypha in general, man, there's a lot of information. All right, this is why the Catholic Church took these 14 books out of the Bible, the Holy Bible. All right, because there's a lot of information, man. A lot of information that criminalizes Esau, Edom. All right, condemns Esau, Edom. All right, a lot of secular history that you can go back to and reverence to certain things, and of course, obviously, because the Apocrypha it links up directly with the Holy Bible. So there's a lot of information contained in the Apocrypha. And I was telling this individual, like I said, with the whole Hellenization, this is where it started. All right, because a lot of the Israelites, they did lose. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read verse 49 again, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. So you see, this is exactly what took place. All right, because when you fast forward over to the Roman Empire, all right, and a lot of those Gentiles that were Hellenized, a lot of the Gentiles that were Hellenized during the time of the Roman Empire, they were the direct offspring of the Israelites that were Hellenized during his time here. All right, and those Gentiles that Apostle Paul was preaching to, it was those Israelites that were they became Gentiles, man. They completely forgot the law, statutes, and ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. And you see that today. You have our people, they're walking around calling themselves African Americans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans. All right, they're walking around with a Gentile state of mind. All right, it's the same thing today. All right, you see, man. And this is again what they're trying to accomplish today. All right, doing away with the law, statutes, and ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. You can serve. You have the so-called freedom to worship whatever gods you want. You can be whatever you want. All right. I forgot the term for it, but basically, when it comes to the whole gender thing, you can you don't have to limit yourself to a male or female. You can be whatever. You can have be as many genders as you want. Just all type of confusion. Hence the name Babylon the Great, man. This is just one big pot of confusion, man. You see, and if you speak out on it, then hey, you're the bad guy. You're the enemy. You see. So this is why, matter of fact, when you read verse 50, it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So you see, all right, anyone that's not down with this program, man, you're going to be looked out. You're going to be looked at as an outcast. We're going to be looked at as outcasts. All right, we're going to be there's going to be a negative spotlight put on us. But hey, this is why we got to stand firm, because hey, the Lord said, who's going to stand up for me in righteousness? Who's going to speak out against these things, man? Because even though a lot of our people, when it comes to I'll say a lot of the 2/3, man, even though a lot of them, they're sellouts, all right. I'll say, because a lot of things, man, a lot of things is in your spirit, it's not right. A lot of things it's not natural, and a lot of Jake, even 2/3, a lot of them, they know that. They know a lot of this stuff is not right. But nevertheless, hey, they're the 2/3, and they were slated to be cut off and die. So it is what it is. But nevertheless, sticking to the point, man. When it comes to this whole New World Order agenda, man, like I said, anyone that's not down with this program, all right, in the ultimate form of, because pretty much the only difference today is their technology. That's really how they're gonna really finally get this thing off the ground. Is through their technology. And like I was saying, the ultimate form of worshiping this beast, all right, get down with this image. His image is going to be in the form of that charagma. All right. And like I said before, they're gonna get very far, man. They're gonna get to a point, right? But you know, because they're gonna put a lot of people are gonna take that charagma, man. A lot of people are gonna take that charagma. The mass majority of the world is gonna take that charagma. All right. And just when they thought they accomplished their enterprise, then again, that's when the Lord's going to intervene, and He's gonna rain on their parade, man. You know. But I'm gonna go back to this real quick, because like I said, when it comes to this whole New World Order thing, like I said, it's not gonna be just America. It's gonna be the whole. It's gonna be the whole world. Again, hence the name New World Order. All right. I'm gonna read this in Revelation 13. Revelation 13. I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, "And he exerciseth all power of the first beast before him." Talk about the Roman Empire, because America is nothing but I'll say like a regeneration of the Roman Empire. All right, which were run by Edomites. All right, but this time they have power over the earth. You see, back during the Roman Empire, they didn't have power. They had they have control over a very large sector, but they didn't have complete dominance of the earth. Well, now Esau, he has complete dominance of the earth today. Hence what I quoted in Job 9:24. All right, the earth given into the hand of the wicked. It says, "And he causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed." All right, so again, how was this deadly wound healed? All right, because again, the Roman Empire, it fell, but how was it brought back to life? Start with the Treaty of Rome. All right, you can look into that. All right, I don't want to throw the wrong dates out there, so I'm not gonna. Matter of fact, let me see if I can look it up real quick. I think it was 1958, but let me see if I can. The Treaty of Rome, the treaty establishing the European Economic Community. It says March 25th, 1957. All right, so that's pretty much when the like I said, that's when the deadly wound was healed. All right, and like I said, America's nothing but a revitalization of the regurgitation or regeneration of the Roman Empire. All right, and like I said before, this time they have control over the whole earth. All right. So yeah, like I said, well, actually, I'm gonna read that again. It says, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed." So, like I said, or like it said, and it causes the earth. All right, because like I said, this is a global domination thing, man. They want to like I said, hence the name, the New World Order. All right, you see. So yeah, man. And because people, man, they don't, like I said, you just have certain conversations with people, man. You just see where their mind is at, because you got to be grateful that you got to be great. We have to be grateful for this truth, man, because people, man, they're just blinded. Because people don't even know that we're currently living in this chapter, man. As we speak, we're living in this chapter, and this is being set up right before our very eyes, man. Hey, when you read verse 2, all right, or yeah, when you read verse 2, it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." All right, going back to the Greeks. All right, because again, that's when this beast pretty much was, that's where it started. It started with the Greeks, which were Edomites. All right, but it says, "And his feet were as the feet of a bear," and of course, the feet representing the end of something. All right, and I'm not going to get too in detailed into it, but you hear a lot of talk about Russia. Them Russians, all right, which are Edomites, because the Lord's they're gonna be a major tool used by Yahweh Shemel Shai in destroying this beast. All right, and primarily America. All right, just showing you how close we are to the end of this thing. Because like I said, we're currently living in this thing, man. We're at the end of this thing, and people don't even know. Like I said, we're currently living in this right now as we speak, man. You know, because this is, you best believe, man. They damn sure don't teach us in the Christian church. You know, they damn sure don't teach us in the Christian church. So that's why I said, man, we got to be grateful that the Lord gave us this truth, man. Because these people, they're blinded, and they have no idea, man. But nevertheless, just speaking on this new world order, it's really an old world order. All right, nothing new, no new thing under the sun, as the scriptures say. And like I said, the scriptures, as the scriptures say, hey, just when they think, matter of fact, I'll go to it. All right, because the Lord is going to allow them to get to a certain point. He's going to allow them to get but so far with it. All right, just when they think they get to a point, hey, the Lord's going to, he's going to shit on their parade. So I'm going to read this in Job 20:22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Yeah, because when it comes to this new world order, they always have difficulties. All right, they're always having problems. All right, because this is something that they tried to establish a long time ago, years ago. But like I said, everything runs on the timeline according to Yahweh Shemel Shai. So a lot of things didn't go according to the plan, to their plans when they wanted it to, because the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai had to come to pass. All right, certain things that the Lord set up had to come into play. So they the Lord threw all type of monkey wrenches into their plan. But like I said, the way that prophecy is moving now, it appears this is the time now that the Lord's going to allow them to, get to that point. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So, like I said, just when they get to a point, because like I said, they are going to charagma a lot of people. A lot of people are going to take that charagma, right? And just when they think they got to the point where they successfully, came through with this so-called new world order, the Lord's going to shit on their parade. All right, as he's always done. All right, so hopefully this is edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim El Shai, double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone. Yahweh Bashim El Shai Barakatham to you, hopefully elect out there. Lord's willing, to next time, shalom.